Hello everyone and welcome to another Wild Earth Travel presentation. I'm Nissa and this is Karon, and today we will be talking about the Galapagos Islands, a group of islands which you've probably heard of before in a David Attenborough documentary, or perhaps with the Darwin theory of evolution, known for its wildlife and volcanic landscapes, sitting roughly 1,000 kilometres off the coast of Ecuador. At Wild Earth, we are fortunate enough to have 3 of our staff who've actually spent quite a bit of time in the Galapagos. So we are experts in finding you guys the best trip to explore these amazing islands. Our reservation expert, Karon, has actually just gotten off a boat in the Galapagos last week. So she's fresh with news and information for you. Firstly, Karon, tell us a little bit about your role at Wild Earth and your trip to the Galapagos.
Hi. Well, I am a reservations specialist at Wild Earth Travel, and I've just been to the Galapagos, as Nissa has said, and it was a wonderful time. I want to go back and explore a whole lot more. What we did was we had 2 nights in Quito on the way there, and then we spent 5 days in Galapagos and then 1 night in Guayaquil coming back. So yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And
good.
how did you find travelling there from this side of the world?
It's very far, but it's worth it
Yeah.
in the long run for what you're
Yes.
going to experience.
Yeah. So you'd recommend bookending the trip with some time in Guayaquil and Quito?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I would recommend going to Guayaquil first though, because the elevation is not as high as Quito, and maybe ending off in Quito with a couple of nights there and experiencing it, because
Okay.
that was like one of my highlights.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
And what did you see in those cities?
Well, we got to see a whole lot of churches. They've got the Golden Church, which was beautiful inside. Actually, both of the churches were beautiful inside. They got the most amazing paintings and everything inside there. And then we got to experience chocolate making.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Lovely.
there was a man there who was showing us what to do and everything.
Oh.
And then lastly, we went to the Middle Earth, and we got to stand on the north and south part of on the other side of the equator.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah. Your itinerary, you explored the northwestern islands, was that right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the big Santa Cruz, and what were the other ones?
Santiago, Rabida, Bartolome, I don't know how to pronounce it, and Genovosa.
Okay.
Yeah.
But some of the itineraries, I guess they kind of there's standard itineraries for different island groups.
Yes,
and
yes,
how
yeah.
does that kind of work?
Well, you can either choose the Western Islands. It all depends on what you're wanting to see. So like the turtles and the tortoises and the sea lions and that you'll find on a lot of them on the bigger islands. Yeah. I'm trying to think now.
Yeah, I think we've got lots of information in the office on the different islands, so I think I would say the best thing is just to contact us if you want a breakdown of the islands.
Yes.
Or any maps or anything, and then we can recommend, depending on what you want to see, which islands to do. But you can also do all the islands, is that right?
Yes,
or
you
pretty
can.
much, not all, but most.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, we can do that. We can combine trips. You can do back-to-back cruises, and you won't have the same itinerary or same option of excursions on any of the itineraries that you do, so it'll all be different.
You won't double up.
You won't double up at all.
That's
No.
good.
Yeah.
And if there was one itinerary that you would recommend to start off with, what would you say would be a good one to start with?
I think the one that I did was pretty good to start off with. It gives you a taste of what you are going to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean we saw so much.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was a wonderful experience.
Yeah. I've heard that the wildlife aren't scared of humans. Is that right?
They're not scared at all. We had sea lions come up to us and like wanting to they looked like they wanted to cuddle, but I wouldn't go that close. You have to keep your distance. You have to keep at least 2 meters away from the animals.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Because they do also talk about the Big 15 as well, and the Big 15 animals or species.
Yes.
Do you get to see them all, or is it best to try and pick which ones you want to see? How does that kind of work?
It's best to tell when you're planning your trip. It's best to say what animals you want to see, because you don't see all of them on every island. For example, the albatross, the Galapagos albatross, you only see that one of the south islands.
Oh, that's Espanola,
yes,
right?
Yeah. So we never got to see albatross, unfortunately. We didn't get to see the flightless cormorant either.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw everything else.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because there's a few boobies, isn't there?
Oh, there's so many boobies, and they're so beautiful.
And for those who might not know exactly what we're talking about, it's a type of bird that you will see pop up, because there's 3 that you will see, and there's 2 that are very distinctive. There's the blue-footed and the red-footed.
Yes.
And then obviously the ones that have the black feet, but they'll almost have this mask around their eyes as well.
Those are called the NASCAR.
Yeah.
NASCAR boobies, yes. They're beautiful, actually.
And I've heard that they have like a bit of a cheeky nature or something, like they're quite interesting to watch.
They are very interesting, and they're not scared at all. You can go up to one and touch one if you really wanted to, but yeah.
Oh, wow. So in terms of the Big 15, how many species did you probably see on your trip?
We saw 13 of the Big 15,
Oh. And the landscapes, you were able to go for hikes and discover the volcanic landscapes?
Yes, we were. What was lovely about this trip is every island was different. You'd go to one island and it will be white beaches. Then you go to the next island and it's a black beach.
Yeah.
It all depends on the minerals that are supplied inside from the volcanoes and that.
Yeah. Oh, and snorkeling as well, you mentioned?
Yes, we went snorkeling. We mostly did beach snorkeling, but a lot of people went out and did the deep water snorkeling and that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did they go scuba diving?
No, there was no scuba diving available.
But you can do that, can't you?
Yes, not on this trip, but on other trips, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Was it the Santa Cruz that you were on?
Yes, the Santa Cruz. It takes 90 passengers. There are so many naturalists, which are the expedition staff, that can help you with anything. They are so knowledgeable. It's amazing. I wish I knew as much as they do. Yeah.
And I've heard that perhaps it's mandated that the ratio between naturalists and passengers is quite high, maybe 8-1, or I'm not sure exactly. So that means you really get that kind of intimate kind of feel and get to learn.
Yeah, I think it was about 8-1 on our cruise as well.
Yeah. Okay. And so for the rest of the ship, what type of amenities did you have on board?
Oh, there was tea, coffee. There's a library. They call it the Science Center Library. There was so much. There's 2 spas on board, which is really good. Like after your hikes, a lot of people went and sat in the spas. They've even got laundry available. So there's a washing machine, a tumble dryer. So if you need to wash your clothes, and it's free. Everything is free.
And internet.
Yeah, you've got Wi-Fi. Your Wi-Fi is included in your trip as well. And it's pretty fast speed and that. But
And what about meals and dining?
So all your meals are included. Your main restaurant is down at the bottom deck, and where breakfast, lunch, and dinner is all served, and you pretty much have to sit at the same table like the whole time.
Oh yeah.
So you get to know your people.
Oh, that's good. You meet some new friends. And what were the people like on board?
Oh, they were lovely, and it was a real mixture because it was about from 30 until I think the oldest person, I don't know if you can say that, was 75.
Oh, that's good.
So
and I guess like it looks like quite an outdoorsy place. Do you have to have good mobility?
Yes, I would do that.
Okay.
Yeah. This ship didn't have any elevators on board, and the stairs were quite steep.
Okay.
So yeah, mobility is a big thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about exploration? I think they call them pangas, but we would call them zodiacs.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got to be able to kind of get into those as well.
Yeah, you have to be able to do that.
That's good for a biggest kind of like option in the Galapagos. But what if you have a small group, or you just like the feel of an intimate type vessel? What other options are there?
So we do have smaller ships that take 16 people. It's definitely a more intimate option, so you do get to know your fellow explorers while you're on board, and you make some new friends.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
And what if you did have a group? Like, what would be the best way to kind of organise booking them on?
Oh, just come through to us and then we can see. I can't think of that one.
Yeah. Oh, good. That's most of our travellers are from this side of the world, so Australia or New Zealand, and you mentioned kind of getting there and doing Guayaquil and Quito. Are there any other options while you're over that side of the world that you would kind of recommend tapping on while you're there?
Oh yes, I would love to do Machu Picchu. I think, and you can combine the trip together. Yeah. There's a lot of options to package it up and that with Machu Picchu.
Okay. Yep.
And then we've recently heard that you can combine it with Colombia, which is great as well. Yeah.
Okay. And what about like Patagonia, the fjords there? Or...
Oh yeah, you can do that as well, or even Antarctica.
And while you're over there.
Yeah, you've got so many options available.
So we do get quite a few questions in the office, like frequently asked questions that people want to know before they travel to the Galapagos. Just off the top of my head is, do you need a permit to travel there?
No, you don't need a permit, as long as the ship that you're going on has the permits and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have to organise that yourself?
No.
No.
We can organise that for you.
Yeah.
We go through the supplier and then they can help. They help with the national park fees as well as in the declaration fee that you have to pay.
Okay, and roughly how much would that be?
Well, it's around $200 for the national park fee, and it's $20 per person for the declaration.
Okay, in US dollars?
In US dollars, yes, that's right. Yeah.
And what about having cash on you? What's the currency of the Galapagos Islands?
Well, Ecuador is all USD, so it's good to have USD. You don't need cash though. You pretty much don't spend anything on board. If you're wanting to buy something from the shop, it's USD and it comes off your ship accounts and you just pay just before you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
A big question that we often get is, what do I need to pack?
Lots of cool clothes depending on when you go. Also take a rain jacket because it is bound to rain at some stage. But definitely cooler clothes. You can comfortable things, comfortable shoes. You definitely need comfortable shoes with good grip. I took a pair of reef shoes, which I think was the best thing because it's for walking on the beaches and that. And getting off the pangas. It was really good.
Because they would all be wet landings, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we had one dry landing in the whole lot, and that was on our last day.
Yeah. And what about like bugs and stuff?
Bug spray is a definite. You have to, because like especially when you're going to see the tortoises, you have bugs like fire ants, which can really bite, and then flies and mosquitoes. There's flies and mosquitoes everywhere on all the islands that you go to.
We're talking about the weather. So, what's the best time to travel to the Galapagos?
All year round is good to go, but it depends what you're wanting to do. If you're wanting to do the hikes and the snorkeling, it's good to go. I think it's good to go before May. So I think it's between November and May.
Okay, so there's a wet season and a dry season. Is that how it works?
That's right. Once you've reached May, then you start going into the wet season, and then it's more. You're going to find that it's going to be more like ocean based, that you're snorkeling and things like that.
Okay. And what type of temperatures are we talking about in the water and out of the water?
Around about like. In the water, you probably around about 27 degrees. It was really nice and warm. I'm not 100% sure about when it's wet season though. Land, it was over 30 degrees every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, we're in May at the moment. Oh, sorry, March at the moment.
Yeah.
So, but yes, there is a bit of a variance between the warm, rainy season and then the drier, cooler season.
Yes, that's
but
right.
it's only a couple of degrees. So I think around 25 degrees as a mean,
Yes.
an average,
Yes.
would be good, which is really comfortable and nice.
Yeah, it is really good.
Okay,
Yeah.
and what about peak times? I know that there's a lot of US travelers
Mm-hmm.
to the Galapagos. When do they tend to travel?
Holidays, school holidays, and Christmas time is very popular.
Okay.
Yeah.
So avoid or
Yeah, I would avoid that
Yeah,
because
okay.
otherwise you're just going to see boats everywhere.
Right, but
Yeah.
it's never too busy, is it? Because it's
No.
regulated.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is regulated. You've got a certain amount of time you're allowed on each island, and you have to be off by the time that they've given you.
Well, it sounds like you definitely had an amazing trip. In a nutshell, who would you recommend this trip to?
Anyone that is a nature lover like me
Yeah.
and wants to experience everything, yeah, definitely.
And what was your ultimate highlight?
I don't have an ultimate highlight, but it was pretty cool having the sea lions come close to you. And
Yeah.
on our first day, our first day we were on the beach and we were waiting to get back onto the panga ride to go back onto the ship, and a marine iguana came out of the water,
Oh,
and it came like rushing towards us.
right.
That was actually quite cute.
Yeah, cute or scary or...
No, it wasn't
No.
scary. It was a little one.
Yeah,
but
okay,
yeah, it was
nice.
so cute. There were people that were scared though.
Oh, yeah, well, I just think you might look like a croc from afar, but
Oh,
if it's
yeah.
that small, maybe not.
Yeah, that was quite cool. But yeah, everything was a highlight for me.
Yeah.
It was a pretty cool trip.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your insights. And I guess from here, if anyone wants to ask a question or inquire, what should they do?
I'll just contact us in the office. Yeah.
As we said before, there's 3 of us who have been. So I think if we can't find the answer for your question on the spot, we'll be able to find it at some stage and get back to you. And
Yeah.
give us a call.
Cool.
And thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you. That was